Welcome to UG 50 and Beyond, Your Vision, Our Mission. This program is produced by the Public Relations Division of the University of Guyana and seeks to highlight the programs and services of the university. My name is Lisa Sumra and I am the host. In studio with me, I have representatives from the Faculty of Natural Sciences. To my right is Ms. Samantha Joseph, and she is the head of Department Chemistry.
Correct.
And to her right is Mr. Lenanlar Singh. He is a senior lecturer in the Department of Computer Science. Correct? Okay. What are some of the other departments of the Faculty of Natural Sciences?
Well, we have the Department of Biology, the Department of Math, Physics and Stats, and the Department of Computer Science.
And what are the programs that are offered in these various departments?
In the Department of Computer Science, we have an Associate of Science in Computer Science. We have an Associate of Science in Information Technology. We have a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science, a Bachelor's of Science in Information Technology,
Okay.
and a Bachelor's of Science in Information Systems.
Mm-hmm.
Within the Department of Chemistry, we have the Associate degree in Chemistry, the Bachelor's degree in Chemistry, and more recently, the Bachelor's degree in Food Science. In the Biology department, there's the Associate and Bachelor's degree in Biology, and there's also the Master's in Forest Biology. Within the Department of Maths, Physics and Stats, there's an Associate degree in Physics, and there's also a Bachelor's degree in Mathematics.
And what are the requirements for these programs?
Generally, across the board, you'll find a variety of requirements, but the one in which the majority of our students come in with is the 5-subject CXC, Maths and English being one of those. And across the board, you might find variances depending on what program it is. In chemistry, we desire that they have at least 2 science subjects, one of which must be chemistry. In
Okay.
biology, they must have 2, one of which must be biology, but they can also have integrated science, I believe. In computer science,
In computer science, we ask for maths and English, of course. We do have a sort of a requirement for IT,
Okay.
but if a student does not have IT at CSEC,
Mm-hmm.
they can come. We accept them, but we give them an additional course to do, sort of like a foundation IT course
Gotcha.
for them to catch up.
Okay.
But you can come without IT.
and outside of CSEC, we also accept mature students above the age of 26 who are in chemistry, who are working in an area where chemical principles are applied. So we will accept them if they don't meet the necessary CXC requirement. In addition to that, we also take graduates from the technical institutes, the ordinary diploma in science, we take that also from them. And of course, we take the CAPE and A-level subjects, 3
so
of them.
the mature students would have to do the UGEE as well?
Correct, yes.
Okay. What has been the response to these programs over the years?
We have seen an increase
Mhm.
in our applicants in the chemistry department.
Okay.
I believe at one time we were one of the 2 smallest departments in the faculty. Now we can boast that as the years go by, our numbers have been increasing significantly. We're still not at the top. I believe that privilege goes to the biology program that attracts the greatest number of students.
Something I should say, I think you were asking earlier about the programs. I think the Department of Maths, Physics and Stats also has a Bachelor's in Statistics.
Okay.
I didn't think we mentioned that.
Yes.
On the question of response, we've always had the Bachelor's and a then diploma in computer science, and it was the only sort of IT program around, and the numbers were good, I think. But then 3 years ago, I think it was 2016. My memory is fading on that now. We introduced the new programs, the IT and information systems, and the first year, I suppose, the numbers were around 10. But I think in the last 2 or 3 years, we've seen a takeoff really. So I think more and more students are coming to study an IT-related field. So I think for us, it's really been good. A lot of growth.
Okay, is the faculty doing anything to probably revise programs to meet the needs of the um, applicants?
We,
Revise in terms of with
we,
the changing times
we would
to
have
keep,
had a
yes.
curriculum review
Okay.
as recent as 2 years ago, coming off of the
World Bank
the
project.
World Bank project.
Okay.
Not only did we review the curriculum in terms of meeting the growing needs of the society,
Mhm.
but also in the pure sciences, we realized that there's a need for a lot of application.
Mhm.
So, in many of the program reviews, you will have courses that will speak to that.
Okay.
So, instead of doing just pure sciences, we have applied, for example, within the Department of Chemistry, we have options they can take like environmental chemistry,
Mhm.
food science. We have a new program, Introduction to Chemical Engineering, because we want to prepare students when they do studies beyond the degree. At least they have a slight advantage. They know what they're going into and how
Great.
the knowledge can be applied.
Mhm.
In addition to that, we also brought the food science program on stream, which is multidisciplinary,
Mhm.
but there is a lot of science application involved in food science.
Okay, since we're on the topic of food science, what has been the response? It's a fairly new program launched recently. What has been the response to that program?
Presently, we have a very small number, but I think that happened because it's customary here locally that many students apply to the university after the CXC CAPE results have been written in May. So the majority of the students would apply to come to university in September.
Mhm.
And because that degree was launched in January, the response wasn't as much as we anticipated it would be. But applications have been coming in quite regularly to start in September, and we expect a very large amount to subscribe to that program.
What is your target audience for the food science program? Who can apply?
Basically, we're looking for students who want a different option from the pure sciences.
Okay.
We're also looking for students who are interested in eventually going into the food industry in Guyana. We want persons who may be entrepreneurs, who might be interested in starting up their own business but want the technical background. We want those students to come. We're also looking to attract students coming from GSA because GSA offers a certificate in food science, and we're looking to attract those students who can go on to study and get a bachelor's degree.
Okay. Mr. Singh, what about the computer science department? What are some of the initiatives you guys are involved in to develop or encourage students to propel and develop
Well,
in the computer science area,
Oh,
information technology?
okay, so in the general area, I think our new programs were really largely a response to the need for more for diversity of skills development in the area. Previously, when we had the computer science alone, computer science has a particular orientation,
Yeah.
and so several areas that are critical for national development we weren't touching on. So in areas in information systems and several areas, project management, information systems development, information systems governance, and those areas we weren't touching on them. There were some of the business element that the computer science degree does not really, it's not a business degree. It's really about the science of
Yes.
and so our changes were largely to respond to those changing needs. But going forward, we've already had discussions on a new degree in software engineering,
Okay.
which will focus a lot more on software development and software management and those things, which are also very, very critical application areas for development in itself. And I believe maybe in a year or so that degree will be that path would be available. Our department has been doing a lot of work in the public space. We have partnered, and sometimes we've been asked to work along with public agencies on several things. So, for example, I personally, at the moment, I'm coordinating a national code camp project, and a lot of my other colleagues have worked with other projects. Like there was a girls in ICT programming. I think that the second cohort has just finished. So things like those, working in the national space to encourage the those who might be interested or might be thinking about it, to give them a foot into the field itself. We've also been working with teachers because it's really important for the teachers to develop the skill to teach the subject and encourage those who might be thinking about it. So those are some of the things we have been doing.
Okay. In terms of clubs, students' involvement in clubs, how important is that to their development? I know there are various clubs on campus. How does that contribute to their development? What opportunities can be had as a result of that?
We consider that to be very important to their development. It gives them a platform on which they can develop skills in planning and coordinating and this sort of thing. In the chemistry department, automatically, as long as you're a chem major, you're a member of the chemistry club.
Okay.
So it's not something that you have a choice at. And I know that they have meetings very regularly because we have 2 staff members that act as representatives on their club. So they would attend the meetings and they would guide them into whatever activities they're involved in. They do quite a bit of activities as it relates to developing an awareness of chemistry among non-chemistry majors, and among themselves they do a lot of mentoring within the group. So the year 3 and 4 would help the younger ones who are having issues. They'll help them academically, whatever is the need. They raise funds to do different things within the department. This last academic year, they had something they held for Mole Day in recognition of Avogadro's discovery of the mole and that concept. Currently, they're working with the science department at NSERD because this is the international year where they're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the periodic table. And next month, they're supposed to be visiting schools across the country that have been identified by NSERD. Representatives from the club and also faculty members will be accompanying them and meeting one-on-one with students in that sort of thing, bringing awareness to the study of chemistry and what you can do with a chemistry degree and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had several clubs in the computer science department that I think are really vibrant. I mean, to answer your question, the clubs are really important. I think they provide a more social space for students to explore and to get to learn about each other, identify things they could work on. Like, for example, our robotics club, I think, is a really, really good example. They have done so well, in my view, that I think was partly responsible for them getting a little space, physical space in the new center that UG launched the other day, the Center for the Study of Behavioral Science. So there's a little room there that the club has. And I think that's largely because of the kind of work they have been doing and also what they have in mind to do. And I think in the summer they're going to be running off some courses for kids and others. So there's girls in ICT, and they've also been doing some work trying to encourage more women and young girls to join, to come and study. And you know, there's a gender issue in our field. And there are a couple of other clubs. So the clubs are really important, and I've seen where, you know, the students are able to grow while in those clubs.
Tell us about the biannual computer science exhibition.
Oh, right. So it's an interesting question. That's directly related to students who are doing research projects in their final year. And what we try to do is to get the students to prepare posters and presentations of their work to showcase. So it's heavily, well, maybe I should take back the word heavily, but it is largely focused on research, but it's really to showcase the research work of the final year students.
Right. And what about some of the research work of the staff members, the lecturers? You can speak about some of that and how it actually helps to motivate students in their own research or guide them as well.
Yeah, well, normally the Faculty of Natural Science has a seminar series
Mm-hmm.
that is run every semester, and I think we have about, could be more, at least 10 presentations from lecturers based on the research you've done or proposals they have for research to be carried out. Students are invited, other faculty is invited, and it not only serves to motivate students but also lecturers alike,
Mm-hmm.
because then you might see areas where you can collaborate,
Yes.
areas where there is yet
With other faculties as well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
areas where there's a lack of information in a certain area
Mhm.
that you think that is a place to research and that sort of thing.
Mr. Singh?
Yeah, I mean, we've always had in my department, really. I suppose it depends on the field too. Computer science is so much out there. Like whatever you do is out there. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
it's on the computer screen, or it's a software, or it's some new tool. And I think largely we've been working closely, I think, with our final year students to provide some opportunities for them to research things that we might be doing. We have different things that we're interested in. Now some of my colleagues are interested in artificial intelligence. It's really a big thing, and we're seeing some projects in that area. Projects around behavioral sciences with both students and staff are really interested in as well. Myself, one of the things I'm interested in is learning technologies, how we can develop systems and so on to support and improve learning. And I've had students work with me on several projects. This year in particular, we have a student working on a project in citizen science.
Okay.
And it's the first time we actually have a cross-disciplinary project in that sense that one of the supervisors is Dr. Priya Maharaj from biology. And so it's about science, but it's using information technology and
Great.
computer science stuff, and so just working. And it's an idea we talked about while going on a trip somewhere, and then we were lucky to have a student buy into the idea, and the student is loving the project. So there are some opportunities for those kinds of things.
What are some of the career opportunities or the sectors that a student or a graduate from the Faculty of Natural Sciences can get involved in? What are some of the sectors? Or what are some of the sectors that they're currently involved in?
Well, right
in-
now everybody's very excited about oil and gas.
Yes.
Everybody wants to get into that. As long as they're doing a degree in chemistry, they want to go on and do something in oil and gas. And it's out there.
Yes.
It's out there because we have past graduates who have already been able to access those sort of jobs in the
Oh,
area
great.
and are undergoing training. But aside from that, quite a number of our students go into the food industry actually.
Mm-hmm.
We have a large number of students at DDL, Sterling, Banks,
Okay.
VIH, and this sort of thing, quite a few. We have students that work at pesticide board, quite a few industry, the flour mill and the milk co. We have, of course, in academic, some of them go back to teaching because some of them would have come across from the Ministry of Education, so they go back into teaching. But quite a few areas in which they are employed. That's just to name a few of them.
What would you say? Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, well, IT, computer science, all of that, a lot of it is about providing infrastructure and support for other domains. So you would find our graduates working perhaps in all of those places, but
Yes.
they're not, making
they're doing
flour or
different
making,
things.
they're
Yes.
providing the support for those things. A lot of our graduates work with the various government ministries. I mean, I'm proud to say that if you look at a lot of the agencies, the heads are doing really well, and a lot of them are from our programs, like the head at the NDMA at Guyana Revenue Authority, but I think what I'm seeing too, and teaching in all of those
Yes.
areas, but because of the way the field is going now, you're finding more and more small numbers still, but more and more getting into entrepreneurship, starting their own little company, and I think that's such a wonderful thing because that it's also an employer. When you start a business, you also provide employment.
Yes.
So quite a bit of freelancing and small businesses, and I'm really excited about that aspect, because now they don't no longer have to wait on a job from somewhere.
After graduation, exactly.
The potential to collaborate with SEBI, or there's
Oh, yeah.
already such an arrangement? Because I heard someone say that the Faculty of Agriculture, they're hoping to have a program through SEBI, to the entrepreneurial program.
Well, we actually have our students doing a course with them already.
Oh,
And with the
great.
food science program, we had spoken to them and they recommended what courses to
yes,
put on board.
yes.
So we have those courses
That's-
based on their recommendation.
That's very good.
Yes.
Very good. Why should a potential student, join the Faculty of Natural Sciences in comparison to any other faculty at the University of
You
Guyana?
want to go?
Yeah, no, natural sciences. I mean, I have my bias. I mean, I went to natural sciences. Natural sciences is such an it's full of energy. The faculty, you see a lot of things happening. I think because of the areas too. I mean, in computer science, IT, in chemistry,
Yes.
in biology, in math, in physics, statistics. I think there's the subjects themselves perhaps are very exciting, but I think natural sciences itself, there's a lot going on. I mean, from the research to the development, the faculty itself. I think one of the things we are proud of in natural sciences is the way we work together. And I'm not saying that the other
I
faculties
heard
don't
one
do that.
lecturer refer to you guys, even though a small unit, you're like family,
That's what I was
Yeah.
just going
right?
to say. We are fortunate in that we're not as large as some of the other faculties. But I still think the spirit would be alive even if we're
If it
larger.
were not.
And I think it comes from the fact that a lot of our faculty would have been students at natural science.
Okay.
And there's a pride there that they come back. There are certain expectations that they expect from the current student. We work well together, meaning it doesn't mean that we don't disagree with each
I
other.
understand.
We have a lot of disagreements.
It's normal.
But yet we always remain student focused. This is about the students and not about us. And we're always seeking to better what we've done before. And it goes personal. It's a personal thing. It's not about a job anymore. To give the student a better experience each time. We make mistakes. We try to learn from our mistakes and do better for the other batch. And it's a continual aim to be better at what we're doing, basically. And the students realize that and they buy into it. And so we have a lot of support, a lot of communication, students and faculty, to get things working as they do.
I mean, I want to just pick up quickly on something she said. One of the things we do in natural sciences is that we hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
We have lots of disagreements, but I think, collectively agree that when we talk about something, it's really for the betterment of the faculty. We hold each other accountable. We push each other too. The faculty is extremely pushy, I would say. We probably don't see it in a normal sense, but there are lots of people who are really pushing at the edge, trying to develop new things, new programs, doing their research, trying for us to improve. And we're very student oriented, really, really very student oriented.
And and outside from that, we try to remain as a unit in so much that we have social events that seek to bring staff together. So we would have each semester like a games night. We have a
Great.
family outing where we would go out with the families in the park, and everybody would come in this sort of thing. And it seeks to build bonds between you so that in your working relationship you relate to each other because you know each other outside the office. You know each other children, you know their spouses and this sort of thing. So you're continually seeking to improve on that relationship.
What are some of the developments that you have observed over the years? And what would you like to see for the natural sciences, and by extension, UG, if you may?
A couple of things that you might consider very basic, but I've been there. This is my 19th year.
Great, wow.
And I started
That's a
right
long
after my
time.
degree. And I'm saying that to say that Samantha mentioned it earlier. Most of us in the faculty came through the faculty as students. We started off with a bachelor's degree, and then and so one of the things is that over the last, I would say, 5-10 years, is a high percentage of our colleagues have gotten another degree or
Staff
two.
development.
So staff development, and now we're at the point where a lot of people, most of us have gotten masters, a lot are doing PhD or have finished PhD. So I think the core of the faculty now is way, way, way more qualified than it was 10 years ago. So that's
Great.
one thing. And the other
Great.
thing I would add immediately is that we're now at the stage where we're thinking about graduate studies. I mean, there are one or two master's programs,
Yeah.
but I think in the next 1 to 3 years, you're going to see a lot more graduate programs, and that means you're going to have more master's students around.
Yes.
And that in itself, and PhD students, and that in itself helps to create a difference in the environment in itself. So I think those are two things that I've seen. One, with the development of staff, and then the other with the program itself.
And those are great things for quality assurance
yes.
as well.
Oh, yes.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, I think that just about covers it.
Okay. Any final thoughts? Any other thing you'd like to highlight about the faculty, or probably tell a potential student that, maybe thinking about joining the Faculty of Natural Sciences?
I would say if you have any thought of doing it, if you haven't thought about it at all, I would say just come. Just send an
Consider it.
application,
Yeah.
come in and talk to one of us.
Yeah.
We're very open. We want everybody to come
Oh, yeah.
to natural sciences. We know we don't have the resources to accommodate everybody, but we want everybody to come. And that's all I would say. The best thing you will do is just join.
And the thing is, sometimes what you're doing your first degree is not what you do for life. But
That's
a
true.
natural science first
That's
degree
true.
would be fantastic as a stepping stone to anything you want to do beyond in your future. So why not? Why not a degree in biology, computer science, math, physics, chemistry? Why not?
Yeah, no, I would just say come. I mean, that's what I tell the IT students. If you you wouldn't know. So why listen? Why
Exactly.
worry about how difficult it might be? You may not find a job.
And at 16, who really knows,
Knows what they want to do. Exactly.
And in fact, that is really interesting because
Exactly.
if you look at I would say high ratio of our colleagues started off with chemistry or biology or computer science or math, but we're all doing different things. Might
Yes.
still be
Yes.
related to our
Yes.
core, but we're doing
Exactly.
different things. People are doing biodiversity. People are doing food chemistry. People
Yes.
are doing management in the area that they're doing, and people are teaching. And so, you don't have to remain that way. But I think the core of the natural sciences and computer sciences is really solid, I think. And we would encourage students to come. Just send an application.
Yep.
Even if you aren't thinking about it, just
Yes.
send an application. Yeah.
There you have it, folks. Thank you, Miss Samantha Joseph, for giving us some very pertinent information to natural sciences, as well as Mr. Lenalar Singh. And if you need additional information about natural sciences, you can go to the University of Guyana Facebook page, fns.uog.edu.gy. Thank you for watching.